There's a hawk over there on that tree. These cell phone cameras aren't too good, but you can hear him screaming. I've lived here since 1990, since I was probably about 9 years old. This pond, probably about 9 or 10 acres of pond. Been here my whole life. In the wintertime, we'd ice skate on it. There's a few hundred acres of woods out there. To the west of us is Mount Pawtuckaway. To the east of us is Hampton Beach. To the north of us is the White Mountains. To the south of us is Merrimack River Valley, pretty much. And there's a lot of history here. For thousands of years, the Pennacook people lived on this land. There's ancient villages scattered throughout the banks of the rivers here. Small rivers that used to be big rivers before the colonists put dams here. And there's an energy to the land. If you know what you're seeing when you walk through the woods here, you're going to see some stone mounds, collections of stones that have nothing to do with stone walls. And I can only imagine that when people might have passed away in the wintertime and the ground was frozen, that those stone mounds were memorials, places to bury people you loved. And so they're scattered throughout the land here, because for thousands of years people lived here. And you need to respect the land here, because if you don't respect the land here, it's not good. On the highways around here, there's an unusual amount of car accidents. There's a lot of things that happen that you observe over time after you live in the same place for 30 years. You realize that there's patterns, that things end up happening that are beyond coincidental. And I think that goes back to learning how to respect the land. To respect that this land was once somebody else's, and that it was wrongfully taken from them. And in some cases, they were murdered for their land. And that energy is still here. And it needs to be respected. You need to honor the story of those people. You have to realize that there was a civilization here. There was thousands of villages along these lakes and these rivers and these mountains. And that the way they were destroyed was not right. It was wrong. And that energy is not just going to go away. And so every so often you see a freak accident, something completely out of the ordinary that happens. And maybe there's a reason for it. Maybe it's not something that we can see right away. Maybe it has to do with karma. Maybe that person's ancestors did something long ago that followed them through time and space, and eventually when they reincarnated and they came back onto this plane, they still had to pay for what they did. Everything happens for a reason, and only the Creator can understand why. This place is sacred. You feel it when you come out here into these woods and you watch the way the animals react. They see what we can't see sometimes. They sense what we can't sense sometimes. When you take the time to rest and to relax and to listen to the trees, listen to the wind, you'll start to see what the animals see. You'll start to blend in to the land. I just thought I'd share that today.